Sense and Sensibility is a novel by Jane Austen, published in 1811. It was published anonymously. By a lady appears on the title page, where the author's name might have been. It tells the story of the Dashwood sisters, Elinor, aged 19, and Marianne, aged 16. They have an older half-brother, John, and a younger sister, Margaret. The novel follows the three Dashwood sisters as they must move with their widowed mother from the estate on which they grew up, Knowland Park. Because Knowland is passed down to John, the product of Mr. Dashwood's first marriage, and his young son, the four Dashwood women need to look for a new home. They have the opportunity to rent a modest home, Barton Cottage, on the property of a distant relative, Sir John Middleton. There, Elinor and Marianne experience love, romance, and heartbreak. The novel is set in southwest England, London, and Sussex, probably between 1792 and 1797. Sense and Sensibility tells the story of the impoverished Dashwood family, focusing on the sisters Elinor and Marianne, personifications of good sense and sensibility. They become destitute upon the death of the father, who leaves his home, Knowland Park, to their half-brother John. Although instructed to take care of his sisters, John is dissuaded of his duty by his greedy wife Fanny. The family, which in addition to Elinor and Marianne includes their mother and the younger sister, moves to Barton Cottage in Devonshire. There, the open-minded and enthusiastic Marianne meets Colonel Brandon, a staid and settled bachelor 20 years her senior. Although he expresses an interest in Marianne, she discourages his attention and instead becomes infatuated with the attractive John Willoughby, who seems to be a romantic lover, but is in reality an unscrupulous fortune hunter. He deserts Marianne for his heiress, and she eventually makes a sensible marriage with Colonel Brandon. During this time, Marianne's elder sister, the prudent and discreet Elinor, and Edward Ferras, Fanny's brother, have formed an attachment. However, she is reserved about their affections, especially after learning that he has been secretly engaged to Lucy Steele for several years. Although Edward loves Elinor, he is determined to honor his commitment to Lucy. When the engagement is revealed, Edward is disowned and Colonel Brandon offers him a living as a clergyman. Later, Elinor is told that Mrs. Ferras has married. Believing that the Mr. Ferras in question is Edward, she is both shocked and relieved to discover that Lucy has wed Edward's brother Robert. Edward arrives at Barton Cottage and proposes to Elinor, who accepts. And now let's talk about the main characters of the novel. Eleanor Dashwood, the sensible and reserved eldest daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Dashwood. She represents the sense. She is 19 years old at the beginning of the book. She becomes attached to Edward Ferras, a brother-in-law of her elder half-brother John. Always feeling a keen sense of responsibility to her family and friends, she places their welfare and interest and suppresses her own strong emotions in a way that leads others to think she's indifferent or cold-hearted. While the book's narrative style is in third-person omniscient, the description of most of the novel's characters reflects Elinor's thoughts and insights. Marianne Dashwood. Her emotional excess identify her as the sensibility of the book's title. She is 16 years old at the beginning of the book. She is the object of the attention of Colonel Brandon and Mr. Willoughby. She is attracted to young, handsome, romantically spirited Willoughby and does not think much of the older, more reserved Colonel Brandon. Marianne undergoes the most development within the book, learning that her sensibilities have been selfish. She decides that her conduct should be more like that of her elder sisters, Elinor. Sense and Sensibility was a success upon publication, and it later was adapted for film, stage and television. Among the most notable adaptations is the 1995 movie, which was directed by Ang Lee and starred Emma Thompson as Elinor, who won an Academy Award for her adapted screenplay, Kate Winslet as Marianne, Hugh Grant and Edward Ferras, and Alan Rickman as Colonel Brandon.